Right, team, welcome back to the podcast. Hope we're all doing sound and healthy. We're all fit and healthy, and we're ready for another beautiful day on planet Earth. Wow, that got a little bit deep. That's how we like it. Anyway, episode number 47. Hope we're all doing good. As I'm sure we are well aware, at the moment, quite a lot of the larger Western countries in the world are deciding whether they're going to reduce their restrictions in terms of COVID, whether they're going to keep the restrictions, whether they're going to increase the restrictions, or what the fuck they're going to do. So I thought we'd talk about, after all this blows over, how to get back into training, how to get back into routines, and etc. etc. Just a little bit of a chat about, finding your habits again. And I think that's an important point. And something that I'll start off with by saying is finding your habits again, finding your routine, or not necessarily finding it. I think creating it. We've all gone through this together. We've all come out of it the other side a little bit more knowledgeable. I don't think there's ever been a more important time to look after your immunity a little bit more and look after your health. And that's obviously where health and fitness comes in to the equation. Holistic nutrition comes into the equation, and all these sort of branches out of the main tree and trunk of health and fitness. So I think creating a routine that's going to work for you is dead important at this time. Team is dead important. Like, your work schedule might change, your relationships, and just the way that you sort of do everyday weeks. You might have different routines in all the other sort of friendship groups, relationships, hobbies, etc., etc. So it's about molding your routine that's going to allow you to be able to create a health and fitness regime to slot in. Like we say this all the time, health and fitness, it shouldn't be something that takes away from your life. It should be something that adds to your life. You hear the whole cliche of like something like every hour of exercise you do, it adds two onto your life. Obviously, I don't know if that's correct, but it's a good little saying just to reiterate the point. It's supposed to give you something. It's not supposed to take away so much from your life. So about finding or creating that habit for you, that's really going to work for you. That should be the take home point here, team. Is it works for you? It's going to be different. My habit's going to be different than you guys' habits, and then vice versa is going to be the same too. So finding a habit that does slot into your sort of your lifestyle, but is also sustainable. That's a massive point, team. Like, if you're writing something down, make sure you underline that 3 times, because everything comes in threes. But sustainability is massively important. Like, doesn't matter if you're good on your diet. It doesn't matter if you work hard in the gym. It doesn't matter if you go for a run and you do it for a week and then fall off for the rest of the 51 weeks in a year. Like, obviously that's not going to create any changes. We're looking for, I like to think of it as like a 70-30, 80-20 sort of split. And that's basically means like 70 to 80% of the time, and you're absolutely nailing it, and then 30 to 20% of the time you're enjoying life and you're doing whatever you want. And if that pairs up with your routine, if you are enjoying life and doing what you want and still progressing towards whatever goal, then that's brilliant. It doesn't mean that 30 to 20% of the time you need to do something that's going to hinder your goal. Of course not. But it just means relax the reins a little bit, loosen up the restrictions, and just have a good time. So just thinking about it in the long term, thinking about it 5-10 years down the line. We don't want to sort of create a dream body or get fit for a special occasion, or get strong, or get bigger, or get leaner, or whatever the fuck your goal is. You don't want to do that for 3 weeks, and then after 3 weeks, like, you've lost it again, and we're always chasing something more. Like, we should be like, yes, chasing more than we have, because I think high standards are a good thing. I think chasing something and working towards something and being productive towards something is definitely a good thing. However, I also think we should give ourselves a little bit of credit of the hard work that we have achieved to get to where you are right now. So don't get caught up in that rat race of like, oh, I'm not where I want to be, blah. And, you know, I'm guilty of that too, Tim. I'm 100% guilty of that. And it's just not a daily battle, it's just a daily sort of reminder. You've got to give yourself, like, hold on a minute, like, you've done this, this, and this. You might not be able to do that, but you can do this. And because you've done this, you have gained something else, so that deserves a pat on the back. Just staying positive, keeping it sustainable, and creating that habit for you. You've got to think of this, team. You've got to think of this time, and when the gyms do reopen and we end up returning back to the gyms, we've got to think of this time as like a new January. A new January where it's like New Year's resolutions are going to come in, and I think it's going to be worse. I think it's going to be absolutely packed. And the reason why I say that is not just because of the amount of people that's going to be flooding into gyms. I also say it because of the training programs people usually adopt when they start up in January. So, for example, I'll create a example of someone's never worked out before. They might have worked out quite a few years ago, and they rock into a gym in January, and they've got all this motivation from all the adverts they've seen over Christmas or whatever. They want to lose weight and they want to get fit, so they join a gym and start going to the gym 6 days a week. To me, that's just a massive facepalm moment, because they've never gone to the gym before, or they might have done a few years back. So obviously they are quite deconditioned, and then they jump in at the deep end. It's like you don't know how to swim, and you take your armbands off and you jump in the deep end. Inevitably, there's going to be a massive struggle. You know, some people do sort of end up swimming, but most of them will end up sinking to the bottom and drowning. So what I would say is starting off nice and conservative. You know, starting off at 2-3 days a week, and then building it up from there. I've actually, on many occasions, like, turned people down for more sessions at the start, just to make sure they are a little bit more sustainable. You know, they've come in and like, I want to do 4 or 5 sessions. I'm like, okay, cool. Have you ever worked out in a gym before? No. Cool. We're going to start off with 2. And then if you can, we'll increase it to 3. And outside of that, I want you to do X, Y, and Z, and that's going to help you get there. So that's going to help you slowly increase up that work capacity, so we can actually, actually work out a little bit more. You know, because if you've never played sport before, you've never really done anything physical, then your work capacity is going to be quite low. So you're not going to be able to do that much volume over a weekly period. You know, you're going to need more rest periods. And also, obviously, like, age comes in as a factor. Gender might come into a factor. I'm not saying it will, but it could possibly. Previous history, like we said, previous injuries, limitations, time, like, all these things come into a factor. Even money, when it comes to, like, paying for a coach, or even paying for sessions. Like, gyms are technically known as a luxury item. It shouldn't be, in my opinion, but Mackey's is classed as an essential item, and gyms are classed as a luxury. It seems like we've lost the art of physical movement over the years, but who am I to judge? I'm just a northern lad. I'm no prime minister yet. I'm joking. But yeah, just sort of working slowly and building up that work capacity slowly will end up causing, will end up allowing you to work a little bit more in the future. But it's not about jumping yourself in the deep end and throwing your head in. It's about slowly building yourself up so you can eventually swim. Like the whole cliche, you can't run before you can walk. You've got to be able to crawl, walk, or crawl, stand, walk, and then go for a run. So That's a big one for me, to be honest. I see many people jump in and they bite off more than they can chew straight away, and inevitably they're going to fail. They set themselves up for failure, and it wrecks me, because for me, I'd rather see a busy gym. I'd rather see a busy gym all the time. It might be an inconvenience when things are taken up and you can't use them, but if more people are striving towards a better health situation, better body, striving towards a goal, dealing with psychological stress through physical exercise, and they're helping themselves and other people, then fuck, I'll wait for a machine or wait for a bar or whatever. No problem. That's absolutely incredible. I will wait for that any day of the week. No worries whatsoever. And then just a little bit of a side note for coaches. Obviously, it's going to be maybe a different time now. It's going to be a different time. People are going to come in. They're going to go for it, and you might get more clients in, you might not. But let's say you end up getting more clients in. I wouldn't ram it down people's throats. This is going to be quite controversial. There's going to be a lot of people that will go back into the gym and be like, right, I missed out on 3, 4, 5, 6 months of pay. I need to get as many clients in as possible, and you start ramming it down their throats. In my opinion, that's not the trainers and that's not the coaches that end up striving and succeeding long term. That just gets on people's tits. If you end up shoving your training system down someone's throat, then they're inevitably gonna fight back. No one likes door-to-door sales. Doesn't matter how many doors you bang on. You might get 1 or 2, but you've been out there for 3 days. In my opinion, the best thing to do is carry on being you. There's a reason why you succeeded in the first place, and that's because you are you. We are in an industry where you are able to express yourself as a human being. You are able to express yourself with the character that you have and the character that you develop through your life experiences. So show it. Show your character, be you, and show everything that makes you unique. You kind of got to forget about that time. Like, as coaches, we go through peaks and troughs throughout the year anyway. Like, Christmas time is a trough, definitely a trough. Like, people don't want to pay for trainers. People want to sit down and eat. People want to pay for Christmas presents. So we inevitably earn less money over a Christmas period. But then January is a massive peak. So you've got to think of it as like that. This trough has just been a little bit longer, and hopefully the peak will be a little bit longer too. So don't ram it down people's throats. Just be you, and think of it as a blip, and just sort of crack on as it kind of never happened. Hopefully, the online sort of business maybe is sparked your interest. You maybe try to create a website. If you have created a website, that's incredible, and then you sort of might pick up some clients on that. There are other ways to learn. And so what? Like, if you have to work a second job to support your sort of pursuit in this industry for a while, and then everything picks back up again, and then you're back to square one. You're working full time as a coach again. So what? Like, life goes in peaks and troughs. Like, talk to your parents, talk to their parents, talk to their parents. Like, if you could, there's going to be so many stories where they're like, yeah, well, we had to survive, so we did this, and this job all at once. I think people have just gained a little bit soft, where it's like, oh no, I can't do what I want to do. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, if you need to put food on the table and pay for your rent, and you can't do it in a job that you love, then do a job that you don't love. But you've got to do it. Otherwise, you ain't eating and you ain't living under a roof. So if you need to do something to support that, just to subsidise that income, then do it, man. Like, it's a no-brainer, in my opinion. It will end up sorting itself out. I think you might need to initially do some things, do some training sessions for free when people rejoin the gym. Everyone's income and everyone's will be in the same boat, and not a lot of people will have a lot of sort of excess income. So give them free sessions, and then when they get off the mark, there you go, boom, you've already got 5, 6, 7, 10 clients because you've been working for free and, cleaning toilets for a living. But who the fuck cares? I've got a lot more respect for a man or a woman that will do that to provide for their family, provide for themselves, provide for whatever, keep the roof over their head, keep food on the table, and then inevitably knock the second job on the head to come back round, and then the first job is like taken off again. Like that is massive respect. So being you, doing what you have to do to survive through this period. Like everyone's in the same boat. Don't just knock it off. If you love it, you'll do what's needed to be done. And not ramming it down people's throats. So those 3 things that I would give to words of advice, to coaches around the world that is trying to stay afloat during this time. And I feel you, team. I feel you. Like it's difficult. Definitely during the first part, like it was hard, man. It's definitely hard. Like I'm not a big online guy. Like, I try and do my best. But you kind of learn, adapt, grow. I have to break it down and make sure I'm providing the best package I can, and then if I believe in that and it works, then I will, monetize that, then I will sell it. But if I don't, then I won't, and that's probably why I stayed quiet for a good few weeks. I was trying to figure some stuff out and write it all down and create an actual package and a little bit more personalised to some people, and then it's back online. We're working and it works. You know what I mean? But I'm not a generic guy. I won't just plug anything together and try and sell it. Obviously, like a team, that's not me. Anyway, team, hopefully that has helped some people, whether you're a coach or not. Sometimes I like to give a little bit of a coach's spin on it. It's good for athletes and members and clients and people that don't give a fuck about health and fitness or whatever. It's cool to see their perspective, and hopefully vice versa. It helps some coaches out, which in turn will help more people too. We're all in this journey together. We're on the same journey. We're just on different paths or different places on that path. So I think more help for everyone is what's needed. If you want to find me, obviously we've got AC Fit on Instagram. You can send me a DM or whatever. No dramas. I will get to you as soon as. We've got obviously the Facebook page, AC Fit Coaching, and then the website is the same. www.acfitcoaching.com. So it's all the same. It's all under AC Fit. No worries. Right, team. Have a fucking fantastic day. Make sure you tell a loved one you love them, and smile at a stranger, because what's life without the little things. Peace and love. See you later.